Hey guys, this is Bharat for iGyaan, and I'm checking out the new Samsung Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge at the new Samsung 837 Experience Store in New York. Let's get started. Samsung's 2016 editions of their flagship devices, the S7 and the S7 Edge, are finally out. They are identical in terms of design to the S6, but quite a lot has changed inside and outside the devices. The S7 and the S7 Edge have a new, slightly more roundish design, whereas they borrow most of the design aesthetics from the S6 with an all-glass back and front, protected by Gorilla Glass 4. On both these devices, they continue on the design language that everyone loved from last year. Both these devices also come with IP68 certification, making them dust-proof and water-resistant up to 1.5 meters for as long as 30 minutes. Now, the S7 is a slightly smaller 5.1-inch display-based device, comes with a Quad HD 2560 by 1440 pixel, giving it a 577 pixel per inch pixel density. You get Gorilla Glass 4 on the front as well as the back. The device will either be powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 or an Exynos 8890 chipset, depending on the market you're going to be purchasing this in. With the Qualcomm chipset, you get the Adreno 530 GPU, and whereas the Exynos chipset will give you the Mali T880 MP12 GPU. You get 32 and 64 GB storage options and 4 GB of RAM natively on the device. Micro SD card compatibility will be supported on both variants of the S7. The Snapdragon 820 variant will come with a single SIM capability, whereas the Exynos chipset will come with dual SIM capabilities on a hybrid SIM card slot. That means that you can either use two SIM cards or use one SIM card with a micro SD card, depending on what your requirement is. For the cameras, you get a 12 megapixel f1.7 camera with a 1/2.6-inch sensor size and a 1.4 micron pixel size. Samsung calls it the dual pixel camera. You get 4K capability at 30 frames per second, and you can do super slow-mo at 720p, giving you 240 frames per second. The front camera is a 5 megapixel camera, giving you an f1.7, same as the rear camera. Now, the device runs Android OS 6.0, slapped on with TouchWiz UI, and also has something called the always-on display. So the screen never really turns off. It continues to give you notifications and details about your device along with the time on the screen. Now, Android 6.0 on TouchWiz is extremely fast and fluid, and you will truly notice the difference if you're coming from Android OS 5, which was available on S6. The S7 also comes with a fast charging capable battery, which will charge up to 83% in 30 minutes. It's Quick Charge 3.0. It also supports wireless charging, and you will get a 3000 milliamp hour battery inside the device, which is non-removable, just like last generation. The S7 Edge is a slightly bigger device. It does have the edgier display, so you have edges on either side of the device. You also get a 5.5-inch display with a Quad HD resolution, giving it 534 pixels per inch. Just like the S7, you get Corning Gorilla Glass over at the front as well as the back, and the device will have the same chipset options, the same SD card options, and the same SIM card slot options. You'll also get the same 32 and 64 GB storage capabilities along with 4 GB of onboard RAM. The primary camera is the same, the 12 megapixel f1.7, and the front camera is the 5 megapixel f1.7. The battery size is slightly larger, 3600 milliamp hours, and the device will also support Quick Charge 3.0 along with wireless charging. Now, both these devices are fairly lightweight at 152 and 157 grams respectively for the S7 and the S7 Edge. And whereas the S7 Edge, the larger size, is slightly slimmer at 7.7 mm, the S7 is also quite slim and compact at 7.9 mm. Now, both these devices feel excellent in the hand, with the S7 fitting in slightly more snug and the S7 Edge sort of replacing the S6 Edge Plus from last year. Now, the camera UI is quite fantastic and the camera is pretty impressive. We shot a bunch of videos and pictures while testing out these devices, and the instant result was pretty good. The wide-angle lenses on the front as well as the back will give you a lot more photographic real estate. You also get the same set of camera modes that you saw in the previous generation, along with a lot of other new ones that have been added by Samsung, which will also possibly be available for the S6 upgrade when it comes out. Now, the layout of the device or the physical aesthetics remain quite the same. You have a front-facing camera over at the front, followed by the display in the center, the center home button at the bottom of the display, which also features an inbuilt Touch ID style fingerprint scanner that we saw in the S6 as well. Flanked on either side of this home button is the multitasking button along with the back button. On the bottom of the device sit the speaker and the microphone and the micro USB charging port. Over at the right side of the device is the power button, and over on the left is the volume rocker. On the top is where the SIM card or the hybrid SIM card tray sits. Over at the back is the heart rate monitor infused LED light module along with the main camera module. You have the Samsung logo and this nice glossy style glass finish. Now the Samsung S7 and the S7 Edge will be available in two colors, the gold and the black. For now, Samsung may launch multiple colors later on or market dependent when they launch in countries like India. The UI is fast and snappy thanks to it being on Android 6.0, and TouchWiz works really well. We've seen this on the S6 beta version, so this one seems to be a much more finished and refined variant of that. Not a lot of bloatware added by Samsung on the S7 or the S7 Edge, and it seems to be running through user interfaces as well as basic operations really well. On the S7 Edge, however, you do get a new style UI where you can pull out the Edge screen and you have multiple panels that you can switch between. So you have some active panels that will give you live updates, and this will also be opened up to third parties for utilization with their applications. So a lot more detail on the Edge screen, and all of these features might also trickle down to the S6, the S6 Edge, and the S6 Edge Plus once the Android 6.0 update for all these devices starts to roll out. So there you go, guys. This was a quick hands-on with the S7 and the S7 Edge. Samsung's just launched them. They're coming into India in mid of March. Price is expected to be somewhere around the 58,000 price bracket for the S7 32GB variant. What do you think, guys? Do you think that these devices are going to work out for you? Do leave your comments in the comment section below. If you want more details, you can head on over to our hands-on post on iGyaan.in. You can also catch us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, Snapchat, Vine, and all the other social networking apps. This has been Bharat Nagpal, guys. Thank you for watching.